All right, so we shall begin. Essay writing, one of the challenging skills of the IELTS test. So here we have the formula for writing an essay. This formula, like I explained yesterday, has its basis on 4 paragraphs represented by P1, P2, P3 to P4. Each P represents a paragraph. I also explained that the P1 is called the introductory paragraph, but it's not just an introduction. It's not just an introductory paragraph. It is also a fulcrum. It is more like a roadmap or blueprint of your essay. From your paragraph 1, an examiner can predict what the remaining part will look like. From your paragraph 1, examiner can foretell or recognize whether or not you actually understood the question. So it has to be well structured and done. Then your paragraphs 2 and 3, these are the paragraphs where you bring in the points. All the whatever points you have, you discuss them in paragraphs 2 and 3. So that's why in paragraph 2, you Thank you. That's better. Partial agreement. There is an agreement first, but not absolutely. So the agreement must begin. Then second part, which was supposed to be agreement, that partial part of it now comes in here. Please, do you understand this? To what extent, in a scale of 1 to 10, to what extent this must be agreement, this will be disagreement. So this one goes to P2, then your contrary view about it will be discussed in P3. Right. So right here, if you have established what path you want to take, please, in IELTS, because of exam condition, because of tension, because of other factors around you, you may easily look at a question and your mind feels that I can actually go for agreement. The agreement seems a little simple or simpler than the other path. Then you would go and make a thesis statement. When you do that, exam condition will come in greatly. You might struggle to remember the first point of agreement. When you are done with that first point, see the second point, tension will make you remix this point unconsciously. You will not know. It will be linked to the first point. It's just like asking somebody, why do people eat food? And you say people eat food to stay alive. And second point, you now say people eat food to fight germs and diseases in the body. Why is the food fighting germs and is it not to stay alive? So the point is still the same thing. But to you have finished IELTS. You have given them great points.
Oh my God.
You are not aware that you just remixed same point in diverse way. So you want to take a little time, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, think out points. You spend that 5 minutes should be precious to you. Think out points, good points. Maybe why do people eat food? Well, people eat certain foods to maintain their physique. Right? Those that are into bodybuilding, those that are into modeling, they have certain foods they eat to maintain their shape so that they don't add up. Why those that are into bodybuilding have some iron-giving foods that they particularly feed on. Now, another reason would be people eat food for religious purposes. You see that they're different. They're totally different. So you need to spend maybe 5 minutes, think about it. Think about it. So when you draft your points on your, maybe if you're doing computer-based tests, on the screen, you would notice that your question can be on this part.
Yes.
Then this space is for you to type. Is that correct?
Yes.
So on the screen, to plan your point before you go to make your thesis background statement, on the screen on the part of the screen where you're meant to type, come below, come to this portion and make your points. Now, when you make these points and also give your opinion, right? So you have points for P2, you have points for P3, right? Then you have your own opinion. With this, you are now confident to say what you want to do in the essay. This is why you can confidently go back to your essay and say, in this essay, I would be writing to absolutely agree with the issue raised above, because you have the points drafted down.
Would you give that point after?
Yes, please. Don't forget. Remember, when you go back to write, as you are typing, This point will be going down.
Yes.
At some point, you forget
Forget
that you have some points down there. The system will capture them as part of your answers. And they will count as part of the words you have typed. Please, do you understand this?
Yeah.
IELTS is an intentional exam. It's something you must understand that it requires planning, it requires meticulousness, it requires recognition or remembrance of things you have done so that you don't forget and they will add up and become a poison to what you have done so far. Alright, so that's the way to go. It's after you have planned your essay, then you go to make the background statement. At this point, you are sure, you are confident about what you want to do, right? Then after making your background statement, please do not end it with a full stop. Don't end your background statement with a full stop. End it with a semicolon. You know the difference between semicolon and colon? This is the colon, this one. That's the colon. This is semicolon, like a comma with a dot on it. Now, when you make a semicolon, it means I'm not done yet. I still have something I would like to add on. So, after the thesis or background statement, semicolon should come in. Then your stance, which is the opinion you must have also established, and that's your planning. So, when you add up the opinion, at that point, your full stop can then come in. That's
Can you give
the
an
end
example
your
of
opinion.
this, joining this background to stance?
Right. In this essay, I would be writing to clearly discuss the issues raised above, semicolon. However, in my professional opinion, I strongly believe that in as much as blah 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 is existing, there is also the crucial need for government to establish certain policies that will help to manage the situation. Stop. That's my opinion. Government should intervene. But when I stated that in this essay I'll be writing to clearly discuss the two issues raised above, semicolon, I have planned. Meanwhile, in my professional or experiential or personal opinion, I strongly recommend or believe that, and then after that, full stop. That's all. Now, at this point, your paragraph 1 is well structured and complete. Please, don't forget to bring in linking words. Don't forget that IELTS would award you better mark if you have compound and complex sentences. Avoid short sentences. Okay, now let's begin. After you are done with this paragraph 1, do you realize or are you aware that having your paragraph 1 well done, you have solved your paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 by 50%? When you have your paragraph 1 well done, you have solved the remaining paragraphs by 50%. Now, how does that work? Your paragraph 1, after you are done with it, your paragraph 2 begins with a topic sentence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, what forms your topic sentence?
It's the background statement.
Not really background statement.
Your opinion.
Not really your opinion. What forms topic sentence? Okay, so what forms our topic sentence is the point we drafted by. Can you remember?
Okay.
The point drafted down on your answer sheet or below the answer space of your system. Those points drafted down automatically become what you're going to raise in your paragraph 2 and 3. Those are the things you're going to be expatiating on. Those are the things you're going to be giving details about. Now, your paragraph 2, the issue or whatever points you're going to talk about is already provided when you are planning your paragraph 1. Is that correct? Because you raised the points from your thoughts, from your mind, you know exactly what you are going to expatiate about. And remember, you are going to factor in data statistics, right? Location, dates, names, and all that. Now, so that is already taken care of. Now, the last thing here is the example. That example, you also know what you would best use to illustrate it. You know what would be best for you. So you're not going to think so much about it. When you go to paragraph 3, you also have the topic sentence already provided. And you know what you are going to write about it. And you know the best example for it. Then your conclusion, there is nothing to think about. All you need to do is either to give a synopsis or a recap of the topics, or you just simply say in light of the above. It's either you use, when you are treating your paragraph 4, there are 2 templates you can bring in for paragraph 4. You can either begin your paragraph 4 by using this guy conclusively, or you can begin your 4th paragraph by using summarily. You can as well begin your 4th paragraph by saying, in light of the above.
What about the right in conclusion or the summary?
How many words do you have when you say in conclusion? 2 words. How many words do I have here? Which one is more advanced?
But that 2 words would make your
words can rise.
Yeah, the word is rising and the point is reducing. Which one is it? So you want to think about advanced words you can use, right? So now, understand something here. When you use conclusively or summarily to begin your 4th paragraph, the approach is the same. What's the approach? You are to give a synopsis, summarize the points you raised in paragraph 2 and 3. You know the way the news broadcasters do the end their news. They will say something, and that is the end. That's the news at 10. But just before we go here, the news headline: the federal government has approved blah 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 blah. The Nigerian Union workers blah 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 blah. They do a recap of the issues. So if you are using any of these 2, you are to give the synopsis of those points before you bring down your opinion. Do you understand something here? If you want to use any of these 2 to begin your 4th paragraph, you are expected to give a recap. You are expected to give a synopsis of the issues, the points discussed in paragraphs 2 and 3 before adding your stance. That opinion you also have written in paragraph 1. You are bringing it down to 4th paragraph. This is stance here, this is stance here. Now, when you are bringing the stance you have written in paragraph 1 down to the 4th paragraph after the recap, please remember you are not to copy it and paste. You are not to copy it verbatim. You are not to copy it word for word. You are to look for a way of rephrasing it. So you should paraphrase it, but ensure that you capture the same idea that you wrote in paragraph 1. Now, for those that want to use in light of the above, very straight. in light of the above, you don't bring in these points anymore. Once you write in light of the above, you just simply bring down your opinion and replace it. Which do you prefer?
I prefer that
You like anything that will increase it. Okay, so that's very correct. While for those who would want to, those that would like to go straight to the point, you don't want to start talking about the topics. Just use in light of the above, then go straight to that opinion. Bring it up. But please, here is a condition. The minimum number of words you are expected to write or have in essay writing is 250 words. Now, if you check your paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, and you realize that I've written just about 190 words, you need extra 60 words to get up to this. In this case, don't go for this guy. Use this guy. So that by the time you say conclusively or summarily, you begin to buy words by giving a recap of the points. There is no way the recap will not give you about 30 to 40 words. Adding to this, that will give you like, let's say, maximum of 230, right? Now, by the time you bring down your opinion, you should be able to have about 20 to 30 words again, and that should give you 260. And by this, you have achieved the minimum requirement. Please do understand this. But it is highly encouraged to have up to 400 words or more.
From a profession of few words.
Exactly.
That's why it's affecting me.
More action.
Few words.
Alright, so this is how having your paragraph 1 well done would solve your essay by 50%. You already have clear picture of what you want to do in the essay. What you will be doing is
There's some topic
that if it's a topic that is relatable to you. And let me also establish that IELTS essay topics are unknown to anybody. You don't know what will be given to you. Your question might come from sports. Your question might come from tourism. It might come from agriculture. It can come from global warming. It can come from IT. It can come from economy. It can come from a particular animal or plant. It can come from certain practices of humans. And it can come from anywhere. And when you're writing on any of the topics, it is highly recommended that you bring in the terminologies that relate to that particular area. And when you're using those terminologies, you must also achieve high vocabularies and accuracy of the sentences. And you must as well try not to balablu. So you are highly expected to be pretty professional in your essay delivery. Okay, so let's begin. We shall start with the first paragraph. And the first paragraph has about 3 to 4 major features that you should bring in. So now let's look at the first thing, or the four things you should bring in when you're treating your paragraph 1 are your paraphrase, your preamble, your thesis or background statement, and your stance. These are the four major things you should have. Although preamble may be optional, not compulsory, it may be optional. Now, the first thing is paraphrase. What is paraphrase? What's paraphrase? What does that mean?
Changing the initial words to an
Changing the initial words to what?
So, using changing the initial word without changing the idea.
Thank you. Paraphrasing means restating an information using synonyms or phrases that still retain the main idea. Like I always use portraits to illustrate. In paraphrasing, you are likened to an artist who is given a small photograph to draw and develop into a portrait. So the artist is look at your image here and develop it into a larger frame. And when this artist is doing this, the artist must replicate exactly what is here on this place without adding what is not here to this place and without removing what is not here when doing this. That's paraphrase. So please, whatever words you're using to paraphrase a question must be words that can replace that original word and still mean the same thing as the original word. That's why I am saying be mindful of ambiguous words. Will be present at your birthday, will present a present. So when you bring in an ambiguous word, you are jeopardizing your efforts. Because the examiner is not supposed to get into your mind and analyze what you have written and see it from your own perspective. The examiner is rather meant to read what you have written and have clear understanding of it. Right? You are also strongly advised to avoid turgid words, high-sounding words, because the examiner will not have the time to start going through dictionaries or Wikipedia or Google to get the meanings of those words, because there are lots of questions the examiner would have to know.
But since it's a computer building, is the computer like marking it?
No, people mark it on computer text. Examiner would analyze using some parameters. The computer would analyze what you have written using some parameters, but humans would still go through and award the appropriate mark. What the computer uses is the artificial intelligence. So that artificial intelligence have the program of checking for certain parameters. Your spellings, the understanding and accuracy of your grammar. That's where they deploy Grammarly to see the ease of understanding nature of what you have written. They also want to see the number of words you have covered within the time frame. They want to see if your write-up is in line with the topic. They want to see if you deployed the right or appropriate terminologies that relate to that particular question. Right? So please, it will still be vetted or assessed or evaluated by you. Now, since you have understood what paraphrasing is all about, let's take on this quick test. Okay, so those on the YouTube platform, if you are willing to participate in the exercise, please type your answers and drop at the comment section of the video. But I will be going offline shortly, so we'll continue some other time. Now, for the quick test, you are going to paraphrase whatever I would write here on your note. Right. Please copy the question. In the next 3 minutes, you would have to paraphrase this and read out what you have. Okay. Right. If you are on YouTube, you can actually drop your own paraphrase to this question on the comment section of the video. I should be able to make assess your paraphrasing skill at the end of the video. Please write. So for those on YouTube, this is a question. It says, it is debated by certain persons that allowing 0 to 3-year-old children free access to technology boosts their intellectual ability. Full stop. Others feel it is capable of exposing them to a lot of negative impacts. Full stop. Instruction says, discuss both sides and give your own opinion. So I would like to get your opinion on the comment section of this video. I would be able to assess or evaluate and make corrections where necessary at the end of this video. We will be ending it here for today, right about now. Please feel free to ask any question and join us in our next live session. Bye for now.